Oh, here we go. That's perfect. The I'll show you. Damn. It says hipster. I don't know if I think I want to be hipster. There we go. This is perfect. This is exactly what I got right here. And it better look exactly like that. I'm a little
Wow,
buzzed.
you couldn't find one that's front facing? I was just gonna trace it.
Oh god. Alright, let me see. Sorry, gosh. Action. Wait. Oh, that's right. You say action. You
Action!
got the record button. I'm ready.
Hey everybody, my name's Cody.
Hey, Cody.
Thought you were
Wait,
gonna introduce
that was breaking up again. Alright, this is super.
Let me like
This is
try
how
to
it's gonna go.
exit and cancel out of everything.
No, just keep it going. Like,
Okay,
this is
keep
good
it going.
stuff. This is people are gonna come back to video number 2 to see this kind of stuff.
That's true, that's true. So, hey everybody, my name is Cody. I'm the programmer for Lazy Goblins.
Why do you have to say it like that? Did you not rehearse this? Like, you sound like you're so like, I'm the programmer. Ugh.
I'm the programmer. I get stuck with all the issues.
Wow. That you can YouTube how to fix. Come on, jeez.
Oh man.
Yeah, let's go.
We are. Introduce yourself.
Yeah. So, wait, I have to introduce myself now. You're not done. Wait, did you say something about AI before? Continue. I won't interrupt again.
So, we both went to school for game art and design at the Art Institute. That's where this friendship blossomed into something special. And yeah, I lost track of thinking for how many times we restarted this.
So yeah, that's pretty much
That's
accurate.
pretty much our background. And then we kind of, after we graduated, he moved to the East Coast. I moved to Southern California, and we've been in contact since then. And we've released a couple games. None that, yeah, well, like game jam games and stuff.
Wacky Duels, game jam games.
None that were really like that. We kind of put effort into making them like commercially viable to try to make a profit off of. We were more so trying to do it to get a portfolio going and to get jobs in the industry.
Right.
But we decided that now we are going to just do our own thing with the studio of Lazy Goblins, and we're going to try to release commercially viable games, try to make money from them, try to keep us afloat, and just keep making games.
Yeah, it's pretty much the main reason why we're here is to make games and go over things that we do and ways that hopefully help us get into the industry.
Yeah, we also want to kind of break the bad habits of working in the industry, like crunch and all that stuff. We want to try to avoid that as much as possible because we think it's not a healthy lifestyle. You should be working and doing what you love and not hating it at times. It should just be nice and fun and relaxing and enjoyable.
I agree. Okay, so and one of the things that we want to do is Cody and I were actually just talking the other day about how is it that the game industry is like this unicorn of a job where you hear about it and you know that it's like something you dream of, or maybe you don't even dream of, you kind of just get into it and you're like, oh, I would love to make games. I love games. I'm creative. I like to draw. I like to do programming, but then you go and people are like, oh, it's super easy. You just gotta like work really hard and you put in the hours and make games and you'll totally do it. And then you do that and nothing happens. Cody's been actively programming for how long now? Probably actively since college. So I would say 5 years?
I would say I really started like learning within the past couple of years. Cause
So, well, even with that though, I mean, because we were
yeah,
learning in college, so okay, let's say 3.5 years, right? And yet, still having difficulties trying to get in the industry, you know. And he's been making games. He contracting now. He does that for a living. He makes enough money to support himself.
which is good, but the hours are horrible.
Right. And my name is Johnny, and I am the game designer that we have found that, while buying assets is a very awesome thing to do, it kind of just started it wasn't really working with the flow of the kind of games we want to make. Our goal is to make games that we can just get what we want, make the gameplay, have fun with it, and then design the levels and get them out there. And it's kind of difficult sometimes when you have an asset pack that you have to try to manipulate to what your needs are versus like just making something quickly in Blender and throwing it to Unity and having it be what you need it to be. Um, so what I started doing was I actually really enjoyed when I was going to school. I really enjoyed 3D modeling, and one of my things originally was to be a level designer. So I just started getting back into to learn Blender. I've never used Blender before, so started learning Blender the 2.8 and just kind of making stuff for us in the games. And then I design the levels, keep up with documentation, come up with all the cool ideas, and Cody just was like, "Okay, I'll just program it." It's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
the whole goal of this, I don't know it's not really a podcast, a video cast. I don't know what you really want to call it. Is something that we're going to do what is today? Friday? Every Friday, and we're going to
Sorry
do
if you
an
guys hear my
hour.
dog in the background.
Uh, well, you're allowed to have stuff in the background. You probably hear my little water that I'm drinking.
Yeah, it's. I
Mm-hmm.
heard the ice right now.
Mm-hmm. It's important to stay hydrated when you're making games. Um, so yeah, something we're gonna do. We're gonna put on for at least every an hour. I think we could do an hour, right, Cody?
Yeah, we're gonna try to at least a minimum of an hour. If we go over, then that's fine. But
Yeah, if we start having like a lot of fun and go over, then that's fun. Oh my God,
if
you're
we
just
like
so
run
loud.
out of stuff to talk about and we're at like 30 minutes, we're just gonna ramble on about stuff.
Yeah, yeah, we're just gonna make up whatever we want. Like there's a spider crawling on my ceiling, and I'm
Oh
kind of
my
scared now.
gosh, get out of there now, burn it down.
It's just I can't. Oh God, I think it senses the fear. I think it's looking right now. How is it going on the ceiling? Oh,
Actually,
if it,
side thing, living in the desert, there are crazy big bugs.
oh, I'm gonna come out there and visit you. I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, it's gonna rappel down, take me out. It's gonna be a short podcast, guys. Video cast.
Well, Johnny dies, we know why.
Yeah. So yeah, then Cody will be like looking for a new game designer. So, anyways, that's kind of the goal of this, and then we're gonna kind of like share a video. I'll be doing some stuff in Blender. The goal is we have a Discord channel that we're gonna put in the link for YouTube. So whoever wants to join our Discord, if you have questions that we can address, we'll have that up and running while we do the video chat or the video series. Because we're gonna try to get it to where we can do live streaming. If I have to do it on my side, that's fine, or something like that. But if we do live chat, then we can. If you guys have questions, we can answer them live. If you have something you want to talk about, maybe we can get like if we see a lot of people asking the same question, we can kind of address it the following week. But that's kind of we want this more of a fun, we're all in it together kind of thing, and then we're learning as we go. With like showing you Blender, Cody will show you programming, show you how to throw stuff into Unity.
What do you think, buddy? Real quick.
Oh my God! Wow, That's great. I think that's. I think you spent 2 seconds on that. Is that one of those projects, like a college project, like you waited till like 30 seconds before class and then got it done?
Yeah, wait, you don't like it?
No, dude, I love it. I think it's great. I really appreciate all the hard effort you put in there for me.
So
And the
Johnny's
two,
on the lookout for somebody to make him a proper
yeah, if you could like if the tooth should either be on the opposite side of the beard at least. I mean, it doesn't even. I
Like on
mean,
the outside?
yeah. I mean,
Well, that'll be
you
too
know,
hard to do.
I could tell. Just do it behind it. Just does erase that. Anyways, oh god, I'm watching the spider. It's like getting higher up. I think it
Anyways, what were you
knows
talking about?
what we're talking about. Oh god, I have 30 seconds to live. Anyways, so yeah, so and then I'll be, we'll show you. We're gonna basically show you guys us making a game. We're trying to release this game within the next month or two. We're really pushing for not working on a project longer than 6 months. That's our goal. I think that a good goal would be to, if depending on what kind of size of a team you have, maybe probably give yourself 6 months, 3, 4. But the most important thing is a deadline. And right now we're kind of just shooting. We're trying to make a level a month. So this game in particular we're making, it actually has about 4 levels, so it could take us 4 months. But and I'm learning Blender as we go. Some of the stuff we're going to be doing in Unity, but we're also looking into jumping into Unreal as well, just so we can kind of have a
For
variation of different stuff.
for this game, we're gonna be doing Unity just
Y-
because we are
Yeah,
already familiar with it. So it kind of just makes more sense to do that rather than, taking the time to learn a whole nother engine and all that stuff.
right. Oh yeah, I didn't tell him anything about my. So I've been working with Cody, as well as other friends. You know, what is it before Cody and for like
BC.
BC, yeah, before Cody, yeah, BC Cody, yeah. So I've worked on several projects with lots of friends, and so I've been making games consistently probably for about, I don't know, because I count college a little bit because you're at least learning. So I'd say probably about 4 to 5 years. Now I haven't released, like Cody was saying, we haven't really released anything. A lot of it's been either some kind of project, or I have done a lot of game jams. I think Cody, I think you've done a lot, right?
Yeah.
You and I have done at least what, 3 together, 4 together,
Yeah.
3 or 4, and then I've
Quite a
done
bit.
before that. I've done about 5. Being on the East Coast, I've gone to PAX twice. I've gone to
Oh, there he
GDC.
goes again with the bragging.
Just letting know. Well, we gotta make it credible. That like people
It's
have to
true.
know that we at least know what we're talking about. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, "Why are we watching these two stooges just trying to make games?"
It's true.
Um, and I am not the greatest artist. That's also another thing I should probably say is that while I work hard at it, I probably not the best.
I think it's safe to say that we're both not the best at what we're doing right now. We work hard at it, sure,
Yeah.
but we're always learning and improving and trying to get better.
And unfortunately, I have a job that I have to go to because I have to pay bills. So there's that. If I can actually, that's so much better,
Okay, cool.
Cody. Mm, do it myself, I guess.
What?
But Cody, we have a way. Are we gonna post? Are we? So you're recording video, right?
Yeah, it's recording me working on the the
Okay,
little
here
guy.
I'll send you a picture at least of what I have so far for in Blender. I've been learning, by the way, that apparently in Blender we can do. Is that supposed to be mine? Like, do I take that now?
Yeah, you should be able to take that and use it.
Copy link, open link.
If you want, you can share
Or
your screen and I could just do that.
do what?
You could just share your screen and I could just record that.
Oh, me in Blender.
Yeah.
Share screen. Share that one or two monitor. So this is kind of what I've been working on in Blender. This is kind of going to be part of our first level for this game. It's going to be basically a where'd the spider go? Okay, it's going to be a platformer, and the first level is going to be in like a lava area, and so I thought it would be kind of cool to have some kind of like mining thing. I kind of was just thinking of different things that I've seen, like The Hobbit, stuff like that, where they had the when they were fighting the dragon. uh, in the smelting area. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to have like a rail system. So you'll start the level here, you'll come down this thing just to show you that the rails will move, and then mostly the platforms are going to be actually like rails, little carts that you see, and you can just jump on them. So currently, like I said, I mean the modeling seems basic, but that's kind of what we're going for. I'm not trying to go super high detail, amazing graphics. We're just trying to go for fun gameplay, cute, fun art style. I'm not going to spend a lot of time texturing them and all that. I have learned that there's a way to basically do everything in Blender, which I didn't know, so I'm pretty excited. Where to go again? Oh god, it's so far away now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a lot of that. We're gonna have some animations going on. These will move back, maybe some puzzles. So that's kind of what I made. This thing I thought would be cool. It will actually have like lava spewing out of it. I just thought it'd be kind of a cool demon type thing, skull type thing. So that's kind of what I've been working on. We just started switching everything over to Unity. We were trying a couple other things at first, but so I'm going to upload all that to Unity and get that going. So hopefully by next Friday, you guys will actually see a character moving around, playing, and actually moving around in the level is kind of the plan. So it's kind of what I've got going on so far.
Yep.
And this is the adorable Lazy Goblin that Cody drew for me. So if you can't tell, he has copied his and drew this because I have a beard, a very bodacious beard that he spent so much time and effort
So
on.
much time.
So
Gosh,
much.
have you ever traced something? Jeez, man.
No, tracing's not allowed. Don't they teach you that in art school?
That's you gotta do that to steal.
Yeah. So that's kind of the gist of this whole thing. Biggest thing is we have. I don't know if you guys, some of you might be new to our channel, but we've had videos before where we're like, oh, we're gonna totally do this every week and blah blah, blah. And like, life happens. But one of the things someone very close to me said before, if something's important to you, you'll make time for it. And I've gotten to a point where I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to make games. I want to be a game designer, and I would love to get it to where I actually don't have to go to my normal job every day and work the hours that I work, so I can just come home and rather work on this stuff. Like my good friend Cody.
That's kind of
Tell a
what.
little bit about your experience in working contract work.
Oh god, don't do it. No. um, definitely, it's taxing. It does help pay the bills, but it's like the money, like the hours are long at times.
Right. Well, a lot of times too, because you got to think like, so when you have a normal job, right? You go to your normal job, you got to whatever, maybe on your way home or on your day off. When your contract, it's 7 days a week, so you have to do your errands, doctor's appointments, whatever, spend time with people in your life, all that stuff, and then you have to get back to work.
Yeah,
So, and
and
basically, your job is where you live, right?
yeah, and the thing is also that if something breaks or something were to come up or somebody has a problem and like they need it fixed right away, you pretty much gotta drop everything and get to it.
Yep.
It's not like you have a set amount of hours like, oh, this is my 9 to 5. Okay, I'm done after 5. I can, do whatever. But yeah. I mean, it could get really stressful and really taxing. Like the past couple of days, like actually the past couple of weeks or so, I've only gotten like probably I would say 4 hours of sleep each night, if that.
Yeah, and I go to bed at a good 10 o'clock at night, so I don't know. But that's because, see, while it's taxing on Cody, also the thing is I have to be at least well rested enough because I try to get about 6 hours. So I have to be at least well rested enough so that I could go work my normal job, which I'm super excited to do every day.
But yeah,
So, and then I come home and I just try to jump on this stuff. So,
yeah, it's also a bit tough to find good contract work, because if you go on like sites like Upwork and stuff, there's some good jobs on there. Like my very first job, like making games, like getting paid for making games, and I'm still working with it because I just love the company to death. I love the guy to death, and it's really just kind of relaxing, family oriented, and just an awesome thing, like place to work with and everything. But I found that on Upwork, and that was my first actual paying job making games, and I love it and everything. But I still need to do more to pay the bills. But on Upwork generally, you'll find stuff like, I think in a lot of places too, you'll either find people that want this elaborate game that they think is so easy to make and so easy to do and everything, and they want it done cheap and they want it done fast.
right.
And I've actually been listening to talks about like programming and stuff, and like what makes a senior developer, what makes them different from the others. And a lot of people are saying, when I listen to the talks, is that what separates the senior developers from like the mid-level and juniors is that they know when to push back. So if somebody's like, having trying to get you to rush something out and all this stuff, they know when to say, you know what, we should do this the right way. That way, and it will take a little bit extra time, but in the long run, we won't have to keep fixing the problems that might come up. Instead of just saying, okay, I'll get to it, and then, just, trying to get it done as quick as possible to satisfy the client and getting it out there, and then they come back, and then, it's broken later on or whatnot, or it breaks something else later on. You kind of got to learn when to, like, kind of not really like forcefully, be like, no, it can't be done in this time. But just to inform them, I guess,
Right.
because a lot of the times the clients, they don't really know how much time goes into the programming and what goes into it. So I guess it's more so informing them why you should do it kind of like not as fast and not to get it rushed out, but to make sure it gets done right.
Right.
It's kind of the thing too. Like, you got to not be discouraged, because I know, I know I'm nowhere near like senior level, or where like the average probably is.
I could have told you that, buddy.
Oh, thanks, buddy. But like the thing is, you just got to keep trying to improve and learn every day, and not lose focus on that by trying to rush stuff out. Because once you are in a stressful and rushing environment, you kind of lose focus of what your main objective is, and that is to make a decent product. Keep, especially for a programmer, keep the code, clean and structured well, and to as well learn as you go.
Yep. And that's kind of one of the things I wanted to do originally, program, and I enjoy programming. To me, I like the challenge of it. I like the figuring out the problem, and just kind of trying to be like the feeling you get when it works is such a rush. Like, oh my gosh, I did it! Like, this finally worked. The guy jumps, or you can do a character selection now. Oh, this is so cool. So I really love that aspect. But what I really have found over the time is that while that's fun and exciting for me, it's at the same time like I kind of get burned out. I'm like, okay, so I spent like 2 days trying to get this character selection to work, or this to work, or the menu to work. And while that's like fun and exciting, after a while you're like, okay, well, the game's not even close to done. So that's why I kind of started getting into the
Yeah.
game design part of it, because I like to see, like, not flowcharts, but I like to see, like, okay, let's get this done. Let's try to have this. Let's figure out this project and basically fill in the gap. Like right now, we know the gap is we need someone to do art. regardless. So eventually we'd like to hire someone, or have them do it for free for a while. Anyways, but and then kind of build up our team that way. And then if we could do that, maybe eventually I can get back into programming a little bit more, and just kind of help, watch the art or whatever. But I think a big part of it is when people tell you if you want to get into games, like, it's a really tough industry. A lot of times, like, I kind of start thinking of it as like it's almost like, in the sense of like it's an entertainment industry, so it's almost very much like acting, stuff like that, in the sense of like there's lots of people that are interested in it, and there's lots of people out there that are trying just as hard as you to get into it as well, and you have to be willing to put in a little bit extra effort to really break into the industry. I think a lot of it too is like that's why it's just so weird. It's like, how has it become this like thing to where when you're talking to someone or you go to a convention and they're like, oh, so because Cody and I have both been to GDC quite a few times, in San Francisco, and there you go to these talks and they tell you, you just gotta go for it. You gotta show them your portfolio, show them what you're interested. Mostly focus on one thing, because you can't really do a lot of things realistically, which is true. Like, you can't have I can't say I'm the game designer. I also do art and I program. In an indie studio like Cody and I are, a little bit, yeah, we could both do a little bit of that, but they really want you to focus on a specific thing, which makes sense. They want you to sit down and be ready to go. But you're you're like, how do I really get in though? Like, and that's the thing, is no one really explains it, because when you hear them talk, they're like, I actually got really lucky. I had this internship, and then this internship turned into a permanent thing. Or someone's like, actually, I had a friend who was like, hey, you know how to do some art and Flash. Why don't you come over to my studio that I just got hired at and do some Flash art? And then next thing you know, they're permanently there. And now they're like the director of art. And you're like, how? What? So a lot of the stories don't make you very rarely hear like, I went to college and I learned how to do art, or I went to college and I learned how to program. Now I make games for a living. Like, that's, at least for me. Like, I even talked to a guy at GDC. I don't remember what game they worked on. Oh gosh, what was it? It was a big AAA title, but I think he worked for like BioWare or something like that. And it came out, and he was one of the head programmers. And I asked him, I said, "So how did you get in?" He said, "Well, I went to school in Canada, and in Canada, like, they basically, their school is like the game school is like right in the hub of like all the game studios out there. So pretty much you work as an intern there, and you pretty much just get picked up. So it's like that's such a rare, like, oh, I wish I would have known. I would have gone to school in Canada. Not, if I could have. I can't. I'm American, but I don't think you can go to school. Maybe you can. I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
So it's like, so I think for a lot of people, the best way, I think, is what we're going to try to show you. This is really a path to us. Hopefully, the goal for us is to become successful in it. I'm not talking like, private planes and stuff. Well, of course we'd all love that. I'm talking the success where we can make it a career, where we can do this for a living, work a normal life, and get into it. That's the thing too, is Cody and I both had conversations about, well, we have families. I'm married. I know Cody's planning on getting married soon, and I don't know if I'm supposed to share that, Cody. You can edit that if you want, but
No,
uh,
you're good.
no, but yeah, and so, uh, you want to have a life. You want to have time for your family, your friends, your loved ones. So we both were like, well, I'm worried to get into a studio and have to have these, like, it's almost like they treat you in this way of like, well, hey, you should be grateful to be here because you work in a studio now. So here's the 12 hours, 14 hours a day, which is totally fine. Like, I honestly, if a big AAA studio told me, hey, you could work here if you have, but you have to do that, I don't think I would complain. I'd be like, okay. Um, but at the same time, we feel like you should be able to, do what you love, but your what you love should revolve around your life, not what you do. And so many of work in general is about revolving around your life, like in the sense of, you got to go to work, do this, and then you like, okay, I'll do stuff with the kids and our, the family, when it should be the opposite, I think.
Yeah, and there's
So
plenty of times like the there's plenty of times where there will be like 1 week, 2 weeks, where the only really time that I get to spend with my fiance is on meals, like lunch or dinner, and we'll sit down and we'll eat dinner and we'll watch one of our TV shows, and then I have to go back to work. And it sucks because then she feels stressed out and I'm feeling stressed out, and it's just not good, right? So our end goal is to, like Johnny said, success to us doesn't really mean fancy cars, private planes, and stuff. Sure, that'd be nice. But success to us is doing what we love for a living, not really being stressed out about it, and still having time for our families and be able to support them. That's all we want.
yeah, and I think, like, I mean, to me, like, that's exactly what I want. I want to just be able to, like, every time I get up to go to work, I'm just like, oh. I mean, I would say, like, raise your hands. It's not like we're in a conference room, but like who? I mean, out of all of, like, I'm sure. I mean, I love my job in the sense I love the people that I work with, but my job itself, it's so draining because I'm like just bored, but I enjoy what I do. I work in IT, and I enjoy it. There's problem solving. This happens. You got to fix this, and I enjoy that, and I enjoy my company. But at the same time, it's like, but I want to be at home spending time, and then every morning I'll get up and be like, all right, today I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna do this, and then by the time I get home, because I work 8 hours, and you get an hour lunch, so you're 9 hours and an hour or so in traffic, and so like 10, 11 hours gone. And then by the time you get home, you're like, oh, do I have to? Luckily, I have a great friend, Cody, who basically makes me do stuff. But I think that we should all be able to strive for what we want and whatever kind of dream we have. And so, that's why there's also that big push right now for game. What is it called, Cody? For
To
gamers
unionize,
unite. Yeah, unionize the game industry.
yeah,
Just because it should be more standard in the sense of like people should have jobs and lives. Like, I'm sure if you're interested in games, I'm sure you read certain things or are on IGN and you see like studios getting shut down, or projects, after a project they fire a whole staff, or someone buying them out, and then they bought them out and then they fire everyone. So now all those people are in the market against you, but also at the same time, that's like you you don't have any security of your job, you know, and there's it's so much criticism. Like even like if you look at Blizzard right now, they're getting blasted all over the place with the Diablo app game and all that stuff. Well, the people that are working on it are doing the best they can. I mean, I think it's a partnership, but it's like,
yeah.
so you do one bad game and you're blasted all over the place, So it's like it's more about just doing it for what you want to do it, and not worrying about that part. So
I mean, look at
that's what we're trying to
Red
get.
Dead Redemption 2.
What happened with
They
that?
didn't they? I'm pretty sure like the last like stretch of it, people were working like 12-hour days, whole weeks. Like it was crazy. I heard like they were crunching
Oh
hard.
yeah. Now we're not saying we heard from like behind the scenes or any specific contact. That's actually in the news. It was in the media.
Yeah.
So we just just want to make sure we put that out there.
We got a secret informant inside of Rockstar.
Yeah. So and that's kind of what this whole channel is about. This whole channel is going to be about us making games, trying to make it, and as we come across things, hopefully fill you guys in, let you guys know, show you our process, and just make games. It's
Yeah.
kind of what it's all about.
We'll learn from each other and all that stuff. Like I have a really bad problem with like I get in my own head. So if somebody like it's like, oh, we need this done. Like I'm in my own head, I'm like, oh crap, he needs it done. Okay, we gotta. Oh man, I really gotta like work on this. And then I start stressing my own self out, and then Like I don't just take a chance to sit back, breathe, think about it, and then, approach it step by step. I just start going crazy inside my own head. So I've actually been setting like 15-minute timers where I'll put it on, I'll work for that 15 minutes, and since it's beeping in my ear, it'll force me to, take a step back, stop it, and then at that point, I could just kind of take a little break, go over what I did, reevaluate stuff, and then start the timer again and go to it.
That's nice. That's smart.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still getting used to it. Sometimes I
Yeah.
forget the timer, but
Well, see, that's my problem is I'm a definitely procrastinator. I put things off, but I try hard to work, but like that's why this channel is important to me because I'm not giving myself excuses anymore. I have so many excuses. I'm tired from a long day. I do this, I do that. I don't feel good today. And there's lots of things like I like to listen to motivational speeches and things like that to try to get me in the mood or mindset of working. And listening to some of these people talk, it's just like, well, yeah, like there, no one's ever in like 100%. Like I was listening to Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan was saying like, there's no one. He's like, if I only worked out when I felt awesome, I would like never work out because everyone has a bad day.
yeah.
So, and on those days, those are the days that I'm trying to start to push myself and be like, okay, I come home and I need to work on it. Like the coolest thing my wife said to me the other day was she said, wait, so you're just gonna go in there and get started right away? And at first I was like, well, yeah. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think that's cool. Like because normally I'm like, I'll watch an episode of something first on TV to relax after getting home from work. And that episode turns into 5 episodes. And now I'm like, well, now it's like 8 o'clock. I gotta have dinner. Oh, now it's 9. Why even bother?
Yeah.
So,
I think that's another thing though, because like you gotta push yourself, right? But at the same time, you don't want to burn yourself out.
right.
So you gotta kind of, it's a balancing act that you gotta do. Like you gotta push yourself to keep yourself going, but if you start going too far, you gotta know when to come back and be like, okay, let me just, take the day, recuperate, uh, take it for myself, and then go back to it again tomorrow.
Right. And like my job, I'm off Sundays, work Saturdays, but I'm off Sunday, Monday. So my job, I use because my wife, she's off Saturday, Sunday. So I take Sunday all for us, just her and I, and then I get back to work because it is important to recharge. But I feel like if I tell myself, oh, I need to take today, I've been working hard, then those days turn into too many for me. And then it turns into a week and a month, and then I'm never doing anything. So that's one of the biggest things that I think the challenge that Cody and I, at least myself, because Cody is a very hard worker. He's probably one of the hardest workers people that I know.
Oh, thanks, bud.
I know. I mean, I probably know like 5, but he's one of them. Uh, so, so and the biggest thing is you have to like the challenge is to complete a game. And him and I, we've been working together for quite a while now, but we've never really published anything. We've done one. I think we did Wacky Duels. Was that a game jam?
That was our own game jam. We wanted to make it in a month.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, originally we were trying to make every game every month, and now it's funny that we're kind of coming full circle because we're like, that's too much pressure on me. Like that was me, not Cody. Cody's like, I'll do everything. I'll make a game in a day, whatever. That's just Cody. So, we're kind of coming back to that, but not really. Now it's more just realistic goals and like, okay, let's try to get this done in a month. Let's try to
Yeah.
get that done in a month. Like milestones more than anything.
Yeah,
Um,
we're kind of trying to not set like a strict deadline for when we want it to be done. Like, oh, it has to be done at this point. We're more so saying, okay, let's shoot for this. But if we don't hit it, that's fine. Let's just try to gradually get to that. And that way it's less stressful. Because if you set yourself a deadline, once you get closer and closer to that deadline, you're going to start stressing yourself out. You're going to start falling into bad practices. And it's just going to be bad overall. But
and that's why, but that's also why I think it's important because yeah, exactly what Cody said, but you can't wait until the deadline to
Yeah,
start.
that's why we're doing like little milestones leading up to it.
Right. And so that's kind of part of this channel also is this is like our way of checks and balances. Like we want you guys to make sure we stay in check. Like, hey, where's that update? What's going on? I thought you said you were gonna do this. Crap. Okay. So, but we're gonna go forward and actually release a game. I think this one we're gonna. I think we're just gonna make it for the web, right? Just is that itch.io?
I think so. We might do Steam, um,
Maybe. We'll see.
but
No one's buying
we
games on
might
Steam.
just do itch.io and then see
Okay.
how it does on there, and then plan the next game and just keep going.
Okay. Yeah, and our goal is to hopefully eventually. I'm trying to work on getting us a dev kit for Nintendo. So if Nintendo, if you're listening, we'd love a dev kit.
Some random guy from Nintendo just happens to find
Yeah,
our podcast. I'm listening, guys. I'm here.
yeah. I got you. I'll send you one tomorrow. Yeah, LazyGoblins.com. No, I don't know if that's really our website, but yeah. So like we're gonna progress, but I think for them they need to make sure that you're a viable company. So we need to release a couple games so we can show them that we're here. I think one thing I'll just say off the bat is our games are gonna be at least $4.99. Him and Cody and I have been talking about it, and we think that the quality that we're gonna put into it and the hard work we're going to be charging. I mean, if we can, I would like personally, I'd like to do $5 flat if we can. Some websites and some things are like, you got to do, $4.99 or whatever. But I'm like telling that to people now, so don't be afraid to support us. But who knows? We might do stuff where we send people out stuff to do testing and things for that nature for us.
Yeah, I think that's something we will do. Once we get like at least a good prototype of like the first level, just to make sure everything feels nice and feels good and is like fun to play. Just to make sure it's fun, that we have something there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Because that's what you hear a lot of too, is people say as soon as you make a game, once you get a pro, you gotta get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I've heard a whole bunch of people say you gotta test early and you need to test often, and not with just yourself and the team. You gotta like put it into other people's hands that haven't been looking at it or toying with it the whole time.
exactly. So, that's what this whole thing's about, and that's one thing. We like he said, we came from the Art Institute in California. It's since closed down, so you can't go check the history archives of our gloriousness. I still have a ribbon that I won from a very particular teacher out there that was, it's a proud moment. That's hanging next to my computer because I'm so proud of that. He
Nice.
actually is like, I got the merit for most improved student. Anyways, so hold on, like choking up. So, and I think that's another thing I would like to personally do. I don't know how Cody feels about this, but I want to be here for the students. I remember when I was in class and you're not sure, you're trying to look things up and try to find stuff online, and you're like, oh, this everyone has this thing, but I need this thing, and no one's helping me, and I can't ask. So I, Johnny, am available if you have questions like on Blender or some kind of programming thing that I could possibly try to help you with, which I'd probably just ask Cody. But like anything like that or just stuff like that, I'd like to be here because I knew it was difficult for me because I enjoyed learning programming when I was in college. But you go and it's like a specific. This is how you make a inventory system, and you're like, but wait, what about how does that? So if we have a whole bunch of students on here and they all want to make an inventory system or something, maybe we can actually do like a tutorial on it or a video and talk about it and answer questions live about why we're doing it this way or why that might work.
Yeah, and share anything with us that you learn as well, because we might not know about it.
Whoa,
And
whoa, whoa. Well, maybe.
I
Yeah.
I might not know about it. Because we're definitely
Uh,
not masters. I think that's the thing. Like, nobody is truly ever a master. You're always a student that is trying to strive for the impossible goal of becoming a master.
Whoa, those are some wise words.
Thanks.
Glad we caught that on video.
I know. Ah, it's not recorded.
This whole time for over an hour.
It's been over an hour? Wow.
Has it been? I have no
I don't
idea.
know. Let me check the time. It says 51. I think we didn't start like really doing this until like 20 minutes in.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the charm, though. Like, I don't think we want this to be a direct like, this is how it is. Blah, this is more of a open forum, really,
Yeah.
and discussing things. And Cody and I talk pretty much almost every day when I answer the phone, and I would say we try to discuss what we're going to talk about on Friday or whatever, because we want to come up with like a game plan, so we're not just rambling. And we might come back to this topic about why is the game industry like the unicorn job? I call it unicorn just because it's such like a mystical creature. Like, you're like, whoa, you got in? That's so cool. And then you ask people, how can I get in? Oh, I don't know. I gotta go. It's like you can't talk about it. You're like,
It's
I'll
also
just apply.
I think it's also different for every person. Depends on your situation and all that stuff. Because yeah, the easy simple answer that you'll hear all the time is you just got to keep working hard at it. But even
Right.
then, it's like, okay, like for me, it took me like I graduated, and then it took me another 2 years to find any job in the doing, making games, getting paid for it. So I mean, even
Yeah.
then, like I was working hard, but nothing was really clicking.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
And
just get a lucky break.
I'm working kind of hard, and I haven't really found anything. Now, for me, like, I haven't really applied. I think, and that's one of the biggest things is the fear. Like, I have huge fear. Like, I fear, like, I just think I'm not good enough, and I'm too afraid to put myself out there, and then have them go, "Yeah, no, you're not good enough," and I'll be like, "Dang it, I knew it." You know,
Yeah,
why
I
did
mean,
I why did I waste their time and mine?
yeah, I mean the first job I got still working with them. Awesome. Um, the second industry job I got, it was with an indie studio, and I was hired to help program one of their games. And in a month, they let me go because my coding was not up to par. So that was a huge hit. And then I worked in another indie studio. It was pretty much the same thing where my coding wasn't totally up to par. I was slowing down, so we decided to part ways. So like after that, man, I was kind of like in a down state for at least a couple weeks. Cause it's hard when somebody like hires you on and then it's it's like, okay, it's not working out. You're just not up to the skill set type of thing. And it's like, well, damn, I've been doing this for like 2 to 3 years straight and I'm still not up to par. And I think that's another thing with being kind of self-taught is that it's hard to direct yourself on where to learn and where to go. Um, so you kind of pick up some bad practices and stuff like that.
Yes, and I would definitely agree with that. And that's one of the things I think too. That's why I say that this industry is so much like the entertainment industry, because like if you ever watch a show and you'll see someone get a role, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, but then they disappear. You don't see that person for like 10 years, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, is that one person from that one show? And it's because it's the same thing. It's like you finally make it. Like Cody was just saying, he got a job, and like you think you made it. Like if I got a job at a studio and they're like, oh yeah, we like your work style, whatever, blah blah, we want to hire you, and then I get it, and then they go, okay, yeah, it's not working. I would tell everyone, oh my gosh, I finally made it. I'm making games for a living. Blah, this is so great. And then nothing.
Yeah,
So
that's why I don't like if if I get like a contract or something like that, I don't tell anybody because I'm scared that within a month I'm just gonna not have it anymore. And then people will be like, "What happened?" And it's hard to even admit that, like, my skill's just not good enough. And like even in my contracts now, I like it hurts just seeing like, cause like I sometimes will cause problems that will persist and stay there, and it's like, man, these are kind of like my fault. Like my skill's not the greatest, how I work isn't the greatest. I got to keep, but you just got to keep going and keep trying to learn from it. That's one thing. Like if you get knocked down and you make a mistake or there's a problem, just try to learn from it and try to improve on it because that's really all you can do.
Pretty much. And I think you said it best. But you and I are both not experts. I think that we're going to take a different approach to this that maybe people haven't seen, before. Like I haven't seen this kind of approach anywhere before, where two people that are actively working towards getting in the industry and or making games consistently just openly talk about things. Normally it's about, okay, I'm going to show you how I do this today, and okay, we're going to talk about this, and I'm programming this way, blah blah. You know, so we're going to talk about it as we go. Why, I'm using Blender because it's open source, and I think Maya is now like, I think you have to pay $199 a month or something like that, or $99 a month to use Autodesk, if I
Yeah,
remember
it's
correctly.
crazy.
Yeah, and then you have to get Photoshop on top of that. I think there's a package you can get. I looked into it for a little while, but it was just too much money. So I was like, it's why do all that? So that's when we started anyways. But
Yeah.
so we're going to talk about what we do, but we're also going to talk about some of the struggles that we've been getting, and then we're going to also please share our excitement with you guys in something one of our games does well, or maybe I get a contract work where I can actually just work from home making games instead.
Or one of you
So
guys games does well, or you release a game. We want to share with each other and be excited with each other, help each other learn. Um,
that's what that's what I would love this to blow up to. I would love, Cody. Could you imagine if this became a community where we're all just talking projects that we're working on and giving each other tips and helping each other out, and kind of like just a place to go to talk about what people are working on and how they're trying to achieve things and help each other out. And then, like you said, someone's game blows up. That'd be so exciting.
that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. But if it blows up bigger than ours, we're gonna have to unfriend you. I don't know.
10%.
Let's be
No.
real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're also open for producing. That's actually something that we will be looking into in the future, helping people get their games out there. So that's also something, if you have a game now and you're excited about it, but you're like, I don't know how to get it out there. That's also something that we are able to kind of help guide with. So
Yeah, we want to help each other as much as possible because I especially like with the indie scene because a lot of people um, are solo developers, especially in like the kind of mobile type of scene. They just work, on their own. Even that, what, Stardew Valley was that solo
Stardew Valley
dude?
was
Man,
one person that did music, everything, art, all of it by himself. I think it took him 5 to 7 years. I think 5 to 7, but that doesn't matter because think how amazing that game is. Amazing, and he's re-releasing it on the Switch. So that game's consistent, and now it's on Android. So it's just
it's gonna be the next Skyrim. It's gonna be everywhere.
it's
Alexa.
it's pretty much everywhere. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Go farm my pumpkins, please.
But yeah, I think that would be cool, especially if people start collaborating with each other and stuff. I think that'd be awesome as well.
Yeah, yeah. Under our guidance and supervision, you too will be able to make some amazing things. Um, yeah, and all of this is under the umbrella of Lazy Goblins.
Come
Oh, so
sit
should
in
we
the
tell
lazy
them?
tavern.
Yeah, yeah. Come talk to it. We have a Lazy Tavern in Discord. Cody's gonna put all that link stuff up on our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
um, and all that. But that's. I think we should end on that note. Is the note of how did we come up with the game and the game company called Lazy Goblins?
Yeah, that could be a good note to end on.
Yeah, how did we come up with that? Do you know how we came up with that? I can't remember. I kind of remember.
I can barely remember either.
It was basically we're just super. I was like, well, it's like we're like the lazy game makers. Like we want to do it, but we don't want. Like I said, you come home, you're like, man, I got, you know. But even though it's fun, like I know people are probably gonna be like, well, I can't believe you guys are like, what? You're not having fun making games, but you want to do. No, we do have fun. I just wish I didn't have to do other things. I could do this.
Yeah.
It'd be great if I could like work on this for like 3 hours, take a break, come back, work on it for another 3 to 4 hours, take a break, come. You know what I mean? That'd be great. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. Um, if we could get to a point where we could just focus on like our games, then that'd be amazing.
Yes.
But I think one of our when we were coming up with names, uh, I think we got to a point where we wanted to have lazy in there somewhere, and then we were like, oh, how about lazy llamas?
No, I think that's the one you loved. You really wanted
I did because it was lazy. It like rolled off the tongue.
it. Yeah, lazy llamas. But I think I was like, no, that one just doesn't. I don't know why I didn't
And
like
I
it. I
think there
just
was
didn't.
also another company called Lazy Llamas.
Oh, that could have been it too. I think okay, yeah, I think that's what happened. I think you sold me on it. I was like, you're right. Okay, fine, we'll do it. And then we looked it up, and there was already a company with it. Dang it.
Didn't we have something with like test dummies or something like that?
I
Like
don't
something
remember.
dummies, double dummies.
Double, yeah, because we both really don't know what we're doing. But no, so that's our little thing. That's it's this is gonna be fun. I think, and I hope it grows, and we're gonna be here and helping each other out and making people's dreams come true as well as our own.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Definitely check out the Discord link below. Where we got a good steady amount of people in there. We want some more in there to talk and help and be a part of the community. That's what we really want to start. Is we really want to focus on building a community.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be specifically about games. It could be about anything. The new. I can't wait for the next Last of Us to come out. We could talk about video games. We could talk about all kinds of stuff. The new John Wick movie coming out. I wanted to go
Man,
see it Monday by myself, but
I
Katie wants
haven't
to go
even
with
seen a
me.
single John Wick movie.
It's just a good, fun movie. I don't know why.
I
I
haven't
just
even
saw
seen
this
Endgame.
article about like Endgame. You haven't seen Endgame yet?
No.
See this is called going. This is called working for contract.
Don't want to work.
Yeah,
Don't work. Don't do contract work if you want to keep up to date with everything.
yeah. He just don't even. He don't even. He does probably doesn't even know what day it is. He only knows it's Friday because I told him it's Friday.
Yeah, it's true. He was like, "Hey, Friday we're doing a podcast." And I was like, "Okay,"
Yeah,
and so
that's happening.
I had to mark it down.
Yeah, and we also are hoping because we eventually. I think this, Cody. I'm pretty sure this is a dream of yours is to do a talk at GDC.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I'd be scared shitless, but I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I don't even know what I talk about. I remember there's one person I was listening to talk at GDC, I think on the GDC archives, and one of the guys was saying, he's like, I just really wanted to come to GDC, but I didn't want to pay for it, so I wrote it in and told him I'd do this talk, and he was a developer of something, and he made some awesome game. I can't remember. Oh, was it Spelunky or something else? But it was just hilarious. So
That's funny.
maybe that'll be us.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, I would love to give a talk at GDC just because I know we have both been through a lot and we've struggled a lot. So if we do get to a point where, we make it and we're doing good, I would love to share not only our struggles, but our successes and the process we took to get there. Because that's a lot of what you don't really hear about. You hear the success stories all the fucking time, but you
Right.
barely hear about all the failures that happen. Like, I bet you any studio out there that is successful has had at least 50 failures before they found their successful project or game or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, oh yeah. Bethesda had their fair share before they
I
really
think
kind of
even the people Rovio that made Angry Birds, they had a whole bunch too.
Oh, the people that made Candy Crush, that was they had a whole bunch of failures, and then Candy Crush was basically on a napkin that they were like, we didn't. I don't know. This is one of the last idea I have, and there they are. So I think like you said, it's the failures, and it's the fact about even if if you're starting out at the lowest possible point in your career or life with going for this, and then you're working for myself, like I have a decent job, I'm able to pay the bills, and Cody has a good job paying the bills, but there's some people out there that can barely do that, but they still want to make games. It's like we know we're there, we're here with you, we understand that struggle, and that's why it's important to have a community to help each other and try to get through that time, because hopefully on the other side you'll still have it. Like, even though I have a decent job, I don't want to have that job. I want to be doing this, so I'm struggling to try to balance both, and it's difficult. I'm 36. I'll be 37 in October, so it's not it's definitely a young man's game. No, I'm just kidding. But it's if you want it, you just got to go for it, and figure out what it is, and keep on going.
Yeah, I
So
think that's a good point though, is that it's good to have like a community around you and stuff, because there will be times where you just feel like giving up and you're like, what's the point of doing this anymore? I should just quit because it's not working out. But if we have that community there, we could all, help motivate each other and lift people up and be there to help. So if like somebody's coming in with a problem, you could have like a couple people that's like, okay, what's the problem you're facing and how can we help? And just help everybody get through those uh, times that they need help and of need or whatever, however you want to call it.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Cody has been there. I am surprised that he still has stuck by me. Because I'm so up and down. I'm horrible on social media. I don't talk that much. Very not recluse, but I definitely am not very I'm outgoing, but I'm not very communicative. My communication sucks.
I'm surprised he said hi
So
in the Discord.
yeah, I know. I was like, oh, that's cool. So this is gonna help me get out of my comfort zone of okay, I don't want to. I don't I don't want to talk to people as much. But I'm excited about talking to people, and I'm excited about what I do, and I'm passionate about it. So I just need to get it out there and help everyone else we can.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying too. J.K. Rowling, when she wrote her Harry Potter stuff, she was homeless on a train with her kids, and she wrote this book. So this could be the same thing for somebody out there. Working on that game. It's just something that keeps you going. It's something you're passionate about, and there's a possibility that once you release it, your life could change in an instant. That's the most exciting thing about game industry, is your life could change overnight depending on what happens. The game
Yeah.
industry in 2017 surpassed the entertainment, just movies in general. It's like a 500 or something like that, or it's $500 billion industry, and with everything that's out there, you never know what game might be the next, Meat Boy or whatever.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna like stick and catch and start a trend. Like, I mean, look at
Yep.
Flappy Bird.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That, like, just this game out of nowhere just started picking up, became viral, and just the dude made so much money and so many people were playing the game that he had to actually take it down.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard that happen since, where anybody's like, too many people are playing it, I had to stop, take it down.
I think it was because he was getting like hateful notes and emails and stuff because it was so hard.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, you never know. Like, even if somebody tells you it's a bad idea, you never know if it's gonna be huge. Like, I just watched something on Twitter, a video of Stan Lee talking about Spider-Man. How in the last, it was like the last publishing of this, I forget what he called it, a magazine or something. And
Yeah.
everybody was telling him, why would you make a hero that's called Spider-Man? People hate spiders. Why would you make him have personal problems? Don't you know what a superhero is? And
Wow.
And so he said, well, since it's the last publishing, you could pretty much put whatever you want in there because it's going to be over and done with. So he put his vision of Spider-Man in that. And the next day, after it got released, the next day, the guy came in that was telling him it was such a bad idea and was like, hey, Spider-Man, that great idea we both thought was amazing? We should keep going with that. So
Wow.
don't let somebody tell you it's a bad idea.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of this community. We can all be here for each other. So, if maybe it needs some tweaking or a direction or like we said, play testing, or maybe if you're just like, hey, can just someone check out my game? I don't know if I'm on the right path or track, or I'm going for this. Maybe we could just be there for each other, and you never know. You might be your game might be the next Spider-Man.
I think
So
that we should start the next week. We should talk about like that topic, like feedback and all that stuff, because there's like a fine line.
yeah. We're yeah. It's true.
But yeah, we'll save that for the next one. But
Okay.
I think
Good
that
point.
pretty much wraps this up. We don't have any questions. People, ask some
Yeah.
questions. In the
Yeah.
Discord, we have a question channel under the podcast category. Just go in there and drop whatever questions, and we'll get to them on the next episode.
Yep. And like I said, we'll figure out the kinks to try to start making this live. So if we
What
have
would be cool
questions,
is if we don't really necessarily have to make it live, but if we, on the Discord, we're like, all right, everybody, we're starting the podcast, and then we do it inside of a voice channel, and everybody's muted until we start taking questions, and then, you know, we can unmute people that ask a question, and then we could actually like talk with them, kind of like as a group about it and all that stuff, and have a discussion.
we'll see. I mean, because kind of want to. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I don't know.
But yeah.
But yeah, all right. I think that's it for this round. So
Yes.
any final thoughts or any final words, Cody?
Not really. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Trust the process.
There's a process. What's the process?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Oh, okay.
But when you find it, trust it.
Yeah. Just trust it. And just keep going. And if no one else is around for you that supports what what you're doing, Cody and I do.
Yes, we do.
And especially if it's a really good idea, we would love to help all of us develop it for you, with you.
10%.
Yeah, 10%. That's all 10%. So yeah. But until next time.
Yep. Until next week. This is Lazy Goblins signing out.
Lazy Goblins.